And so your music, particularly the concerto, became a very dear friend on a daily basis.
Well, composing for Anne-Sophie or for an orchestra, for a concert, delivers great freedom for a composer. You know, I spent my life writing music for exact timing. And so I thought I knew everything about timing music, everything from cartoons to everything you can imagine over 60 years of doing this. So when I completed the concerto, I said, it's 32 minutes. I must be right. I was an expert in timing. Anne-Sophie said, no, it's 43 minutes long. I thought, oh my God. So first time last night, we played it all the way through, and it's 37 minutes. So she was off 5 minutes, and I was off 5 minutes, which in the film business, believe me, I have never been off 5 minutes, not even 5 seconds. So the answer to the question, what is different? The difference is you have a landscape. It could go this far, but then when you get into the landscape, it may want to go this far, even more. You see another mountain coming, you know, and you don't have to think, can I afford the time? Mm-hmm. Have I got the 15 seconds to do it? So it's completely different mentality and opportunity and challenge. In film, you have the subject of the scene, mm-hmm. and we know how long the scene is, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah. And we know if it's loud or soft and fast or slow. That's already a given when you sit down. You don't have to invent that, it's there. So it's very different.
I was overwhelmed by the piece, also by its technical difficulties. There are passages which I personally find extremely challenging, extremely new, runs which are not obviously following the classical cluster and logic of development. So it takes a lot of time. It took me a lot of time, and it was my lifeline. Mm-hmm. It would have been my lifeline under other circumstances as well, but it became a kind of lifeline, your piece of music, and that's why it is, you know, so deep ingrained in my heart, because it happened during the period in which you couldn't do much else than compose, which is great, good for you. But I couldn't do anything at all other than study at home, because we basically had, quarantine, and we needed to stay for months, restricted. And so your music, particularly the concerto, became a very dear friend on a daily basis. And, you know, having emails and another version or small details or, information about change of tempi, it gave me the time to really dig deeper than one usually can do in the hectic schedule of you having to write other things on the side and me running around and having to perform standard repertoire while studying. That was a particularly precious moment to have the time and to be part of a process which went over months for you. I think the composing and the revisiting and...
Well, I think the COVID period has given us all many things, a lot of discomfiture and concern and serious problem, but it also has given us time to think a little bit. For me, for my schedule, doing this for you was perfect because I had the time, probably, I'd have had as much time.
Yes.
And so that has been a gift in a way, so we have that to be grateful for at least.
Definitely.